your home for the Tokyo 2020 Olympic Games. KUAM News Headlines is presented by Calvo's Insurance, serving Guam for 80 years. Happy holidays from Matson and the Adahi Itano program. May the magic of the season follow you into the new year. Cars Plus, reminding you to put your phone down while driving. Distractions won't get you there. Heads Up Guam, IP&E, fueling excellence. McDonald's of Guam, I'm loving it, and King's Restaurants. Always open, always local, and serving up favorites for over 40 years.
Starting now on Primetime, a family loses everything on Christmas as a fire destroyed their home. Plus, your chief of police sits down with our Adriana Cotero talking results from the recent perception survey. And the Salvation Army thrift store was broken into on Christmas Day, and they need your help to find those responsible.
Good evening, Guam. Guam's Chris Barnett, and our top story tonight, a family rebuilding after they say they lost everything in a fire on Christmas night. Here's more.
Very sad Christmas when we came home. Everything burning in the house. So it's not fun Christmas, it's sad Christmas.
Sammy Machi was on her way to the house she stays in at Tizen. She had been out visiting relatives for Christmas.
When I came home, my house is burning down. But my sister was here in the garage, and it was she's sitting down with the kids, and they saw the smoke come out from there.
The Guam Fire Department responded to the fire just before 9 on Christmas night. Josh Swader is Machi's nephew. He said the fire was started by an unattended candle.
Yeah, I just saw fire, then I ran out.
Machi tells us 11 children, ages 7 to 17, stay in the home with other relatives. She said the house has no electricity. And she tells us after she came home, she spent the rest of her Christmas evening crying. The American Red Cross was on the scene this morning, and Machi said they will give the families assistance. Inside the house still smelled of smoke, and the entire second floor was black with soot. The burnt-out carcass of a bed frame sat on the floor, which was still wet from GFD's efforts to battle the blaze. Machi says the fire burned through most of the family's belongings.
Clothes, bed, most of everything.
Machi telling KUAM the families could use bed sheets, clothes, and pillows. With the Barragata Vice Mayor Jesse Bautista telling KUAM his office is accepting donations for the families. That family in Tizen, well, they aren't the only ones rebuilding. On Christmas Day, the Salvation Army's Tamuning thrift store was burglarized. Sabrina Salas-Metanani has more in this report.
Salvation Army employees were shocked
to see their workplace kind of dismantled and seeing blood on the door and the front door, and just seeing the items just strewn all over.
The Tamuning thrift store ransacked. Police spokesperson Paul Tapau.
Around 8:30 this morning, the staff from the Salvation Army's thrift store actually discovered that there was a forced entry into the store in Tamuning. Our officers responded and entertained a burglary complaint. Now, we're looking at a timestamp of when this actually may have occurred, and we're looking between Christmas Day to the evening hours of Christmas.
According to Salvation Army Major Tom Stambaugh, an estimated $5,000 worth of items were stolen.
It looks like we're missing valuable instruments that was donated to sell, knickknacks, religious artifacts, things like that.
Stambaugh says a suspect or suspects tried to pry open the back door but couldn't get in, so they broke in through another door.
And our alarm company, as good as it is, still wouldn't have time to respond in time to have all those items taken so quickly because it was so readily available just to grab and take out of the door.
The burglary is a big hit to the Salvation Army that's been on the front lines of fighting homelessness on Guam, fighting drugs, feeding the hungry, and providing gifts for children during the holiday season.
You know, the Salvation Army, from Thanksgiving feast where we serve thousands a meal, then holiday season we just gave out about over 1,000 children received new toys from the Salvation Army, and families received food. So we gave out a lot, and so this helps us offset a lot of those costs. So that does hurt us, and it kind of hurts us to think that somebody could just steal from the Salvation Army after we have given out so much.
The Salvation Army's thrift store was closed today and will be closed again on Friday. Anyone with information is urged to contact the Tumon Tamuning Precinct at 649-6330 or submit an anonymous tip at GuamCrimeStoppersWeb.com.
It's heartbreaking because the thrift store really caters to a lot of our underprivileged community members, and it really helps bring some sort of substance in life for them. So, this is something in which we are going to take notice of, and of course, like every other crime, we ask for the community's help and the public's assistance to bring closure to this case.
We just hope that this new year, 2020, will mark a new turning point for Guam, that will come back to our roots of family, of love, of community, and let God get into our lives and teach us the real way.
Reporting for Guam's News Network, I'm Sabrina Salas, Matanani.
Following the police survey results presenting a negative outlook on the Guam Police Department and their efforts to protect the community, KUAM's Adriana Cotero sits down with Chief of Police Stephen Ignacio.
A lack of police visibility and lack of trust in the Guam Police Department. This is the takeaway from the GPD Stakeholders Perception Study. Nearly 900 participants within the community provided input in the survey, with the results echoing negativity. Chief Stephen Ignacio says they plan to use this as a guide.
It's not very flattering, but at least it gives me and the command staff, and also the governor, lieutenant governor, a good feeling as to where the people stand with the Guam Police Department, what the issues are, what needs to be worked on, and how we can move forward.
The survey was funded by the government of Guam as an agreement for the University of South Pacific to conduct a business process review regarding the now debunked community-oriented policing Mandana COPS program. Chief Ignacio says there was a delay in the survey, as it was originally set to be conducted prior to him entering office.
This thing was supposed to be done in 2017 and 2018. The preliminary survey results were supposed to be issued since January or February, between January and February of 2018. And, unfortunately it was never done. Yeah. And I can't explain the reasons for that.
The survey was conducted back in March over a 3-month span. During this time, the series of public town hall meetings were also being held in respective villages, and from both outreaches, results were similar.
We see a lot of commonalities. The lack of police officers, the lack of response time, the delayed response time in getting police officers to respond to crimes, police visibility in the community.
While crime was a top concern, the community also shed light on other issues, such as stray dogs roaming the islands, littering, and trash buildup. Chief Ignacio tells KUAM how they plan to resolve this.
We do need more police officers in the street. And the more police officers is not going to solve everything, but I think it's going to go a long way in making the community feel safer and bringing the confidence of the community back into the Guam Police Department.
36% of those surveyed said they trusted the police. Rebuilding the trust is one priority.
Minimizing the negative perception of the Guam Police Department is important. And again, it's not going to solve everything, but there's always been this cry from the community that we need more police officers.
The next round of police recruits includes at least 25 officer positions. In addition, the department wants to work more closely with each village mayor's office. Reporting for Guam's News Network, I'm Adriana Cotero.
Former head of the Department of Corrections Internal Affairs defendant Jeffrey Limo will not be going back into prison. Limo was sentenced according to the plea agreement of a 1-year suspended sentence with credit for time served this afternoon in Judge Anita Socola's courtroom. That was back in August when Limo pled guilty to official misconduct as a misdemeanor for his part in the 2017 major DOC contraband case. Limo, arrested for accepting money bribes in exchange for inmates' freedom. He now remains on unsupervised probation while awaiting the outcome of other co-defendants also expected to appear in court today. Co-defendant Liana Cabrera, according to the Office of the Attorney General, she still hasn't been located. As we've reported, Judge Socola severed the defendant from the case and has issued a warrant for her arrest. Limo agreeing to testify in Cabrera's case should it go to trial, and 2 other co-defendants, Raymond Hokog and Ed Crisostomo, were scheduled to be sentenced today. However, due to improper filing of the pre-sentence report and a violation of mandatory drug testing, a continuation was scheduled for early January. Well, the Deputy Director of the Guam Visitors Bureau is taking to Facebook for help in catching a hit-and-run suspect who crashed into a GVB van last week. GVB Second-in-Command Bobby Alvarez posted on his Facebook page, on December 19, 2:20 in the morning, an unknown vehicle crashed into the GVB parking lot, hit our van, and left the scene. Alvarez posted surveillance video showing a light-colored older model Hyundai jumping over what appears to be a curb and into the GVB parking lot where it crashes into a van. Alvarez asked anyone with any info about the crash to contact GPD's Tumont precinct at 649-6330. An audit by the Office of the Public Accountability has determined that 5 years of bonuses and raises approved by the Consolidated Commission on Utilities for GPA and GWA violated the open government law. The law states there can't be an executive or closed meeting to discuss salary adjustments, and all discussions must be open to the public. Some $1.3 million in raises and bonuses were taken into account, which the AG ruled was in violation of the law earlier this year. Some of those raises have since been rescinded. Also in the audit, the OPA has asked the AG to look into the contract for GWA's CFO. According to the audit, the CFO was hired under an 11-year contract without a bid. Misclassifying an employee as a contractor may be suggestive of issues with retirement benefits and withholding taxes, among others. To read the audit, go to KUAM.com. Well, the Chamorro Land Trust Commission has sent tentative settlement terms for its case with the Department of Justice to the Guam legislature. Chair Pika Farron calls the settlement a big win for all of Guam, but it's now up to the legislature to amend the Chamorro Land Trust Act law to ensure it meets terms of that agreement.
It more clearly defines the Chamorro Land Trust program as a land restoration program. As a land restoration program, this is what it's meant to do is identify those individuals and their descendants who owned land or who ranched, farmed, or otherwise occupied land that was taken by the U.S. federal government between the years 1898 and 1968.
The Land Trust was sued in 2017 by the feds for violations of the Fair Housing Act, among other things. A non-Chamorro man staying on his deceased Chamorro wife's land trust property was told he wasn't eligible to lease that land. DOJ offered to settle in March, and one of the settlement terms would be to allow land trust leaseholders to designate their spouse of 7 years to receive a life estate upon their spouse's death. And while Farron says most of the settlement is about word changes, the Chamorro Land Trust will still be the Chamorro Land Trust.
We were able to kind of work with them and say, look, we got to keep the name of the program because the land that we're giving out in the Chamorro Land Trust Act program, these are Chamorro homelands.
When terms are not final, Farron said she's confident they won't change much. The feds are also asking to monitor the land trust post-settlement to see if it is adhering to the settlement terms. Well, stick around for more news here on Primetime.
Get up-to-the-minute news, plus access to alerts, streaming radio, promotions, and more on your mobile device by downloading the KUAM News mobile app, available at the App Store now.
The name Regalu, or gift in Chamorro, represents the generosity in the hearts of all Guamanians. More and more of our children are being removed from their homes due to child neglect, abuse, or other hardship. Let's give these kids the gift of a stable and loving home environment. Please support Igumemanaasi, which will soon open its doors to serve as an emergency foster care facility. Help us give our children a safe place to go.
Half the day, I'm in the club.
Half a day, welcome to Two Lovers Point.
Half a day, I'm in the club.
At the mall, as you enjoy your shopping, dining, or entertainment. You could also win 3 great cars from Atkins Kroll and thousands of prizes in Micronesia Mall's Cars, Prizes, and Getaways game. Present your mall receipts and have a chance to win the renowned performance Chevrolet Camaro, the unapologetic rugged Toyota 4Runner, or the head-turning Lexus ES 350 Luxury. Getaways to Manila, courtesy of Philippine Airlines, plus prizes from Foot Locker and Burger King. The more you shop, the more chance to win in Micronesia Mall's Cars, Prizes, and Getaways game.
It's a special delivery to your inbox every week with your KUAM News Roundup, program advisories, and promotions. Sign up for the weekly KUAM Digital Digest today on KUAM.com.
Welcome back. The Judiciary of Guam has announced their 4-year strategic plan to advance and grow the local court. The survey was conducted in July of this year, asking roughly 690 court patrons for their participation. Now, according to the court, this is their most ambitious plan yet because of the tool used to conduct the survey, which was the High Performance Court Framework. Judiciary of Guam spokesperson Sean Gumatata says previously it was an internal test conducted, and using this framework allows them to compare their findings to other courts in the country.
Use that tool on how we perform on a daily basis. It gave us kind of a good kind of a reference to where we sit, generally speaking, and then when the judge's response was probably more telling, and that's what we've been guiding ourselves, because the judges had a little bit different perspective of how the use of the survey tool and how we would actually now move forward using those results.
This is a results-driven survey meant to further guide policies and better provide court services. From the results, the key focus areas include mental health, substance abuse disorders, and treatment courts, technology, and case management practices.
We have found that by using evidence-based practices that treatment courts do help. Obviously, we can't help every single person coming through the judiciary because some of the rules for the court programs are a little bit different. But we believe that treatment courts can help take care of some of the needs of those who are coming into our branch of government to be adjudicated.
28-year-old Jovan Derek Pangilinan Sablan was arrested after he allegedly strangled and assaulted a woman. Police responded to a complaint on December 22nd in Dedido, where the victim said Sablan accused her of cheating on him. He allegedly told the victim he owned her and that he would kill her if she left. The victim told police that 2 days before that incident, Sablan became angry while they were in a parking lot because he couldn't find a payment booklet. Sablan again accused her of cheating on him and then grabbed her by the neck and also headbutted her. Court documents state when Sablan was taken to the Dedido precinct, he refused to acknowledge his constitutional rights and kept crying out loud. He was charged with family violence, strangulation, 2 counts of family violence as a misdemeanor, terrorizing, and unlawful restraint. Well, did you catch the solar eclipse? This afternoon, beginning at 3:33 p.m. and lasting almost 2.5 hours, residents were able to see the spectacle. Observers were able to experience the ring of fire that is characteristic for this kind of solar eclipse. This is a rare and spectacular event that can only be experienced along a relatively narrow strip of the Earth's surface. Well, First Gentleman Jeff Cook will head the Zero Waste Guam Working Group. The group, formed by the governor's most recent executive order, will, quote, aim to eliminate or minimize landfill disposal by the applications of simple solutions. Zero waste strategies are being implemented worldwide to promote reuse, recycling, and to combat the negative impacts of climate change. The order further reads that a resource recovery-based economy sustains 10 times more jobs than landfilling. The group will be chaired by First Gentleman Jeff Cook, and its members will include Guam EP Administrator Walter Leon Guerrero, Stats and Plans Head Tyrone Taitano, Port GM Rory Respicio, DPW Director Vince Ariola, and Guam EPA Air and Land Division Head Conchita Taitano. With regional headlines, here's KSPN 2 News.
Hafa-Day Guam, here are the headlines for CNMI.
As reported to the Commonwealth Casino Commission last week, the construction of villas are ahead of schedule. As you can see behind me, the east wing is now complete and the north wing is expected to be complete by the end of this month. As of now, Imperial Pacific International has a total of 481 workers on site, and they are expecting more. Eric Poon, Vice President of Construction, says Imperial Pacific International is expecting their first batch of Turkey's H-2B workers to be on site by the end of December.
This month, we are working with the HR department and getting more H-2B workers. Onboarding process is in progress. We are trying to get more, H-2B within this month, and also in January we got more coming in. It all depends on getting the tickets, also the interview at the U.S. Embassy. So that's everything. We're still moving forward with that.
In IPI's progress report to the Commonwealth Casino Commission, the onboarding of Mongolian H-2B workers are 2 in progress and will be reporting this month. According to Poon, the east wing of the resort hotel is ready for occupancy, but is waiting on management to give a date.
We received all the permits, from fire departments, DPW, and the health department. So we have all the permits for us to open. Obviously, the exactly open dates, is up to our upper management.
Majority of the construction work for the north wing has been completed. Installations of interior decorative finishes are now in progress. The testing and commissioning of mechanical, electrical, plumbing, and fire protection are being assessed as well. This is Sally Limis for KSPN News.
For more news, visit saipantv.com. For KSPN2, I'm Ashley McDowell.
Sports is next. Double D's on the way. Keep it right here.
Adulting isn't so hard when you have a mobile plan that lets you live your best life now. With Docomo Pacific's Gen Z Club, pay as low as $50 a month when you bring your own phone. Get endless access to your favorite apps like Spotify, YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and more. Plus endless local talk, text, and 15 gigabytes of data for everything else. Everything you need to live your best life. Join the Gen Z Club today. Some conditions apply. Docomo Pacific, better together.
It makes myself and it makes my team members very proud to work for an organization that has been on island for many years with its focus on reliability, dependability, and commitment to the communities that they operate in.
Matson's a great corporate citizen to the community.
We all benefit from any sort of environmental commitment we make. One of the ways that we do that is with our Adahi Utano program. There's action behind it, and so action breeds commitment.
With the Kaimana Gila coming to Guam, this brings a new age and modernization to the island.
It's exciting for me because it's a brand new ship and we can carry more freight into the islands. It just shows growth for Guam and Micronesia.
Matson would be nothing without its customers, and we hope to continue to serve you for decades to come.
This holiday season, take a deal home at the Big Finish 2019, only at Cars Plus. Finish the year with the perfect gift under your Christmas tree. Take advantage of employee pricing on new Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram. Visit us at carsplusguam.com.
KUAM Sports is presented by Triple J.
What's up, Guam? Dave Delgado here for KUAM Sports. Thanks for watching on this show tonight. We're going to take a look at your Gatorade Game Changer. Check it out. JFK soccer player Noah Mueller started playing the sport at the age of 6. The junior striker made honorable mention as a sophomore and played a big role for the Islanders this season.
Started out with a club called the Sidekicks. I just started out for fun at first, but then I grew love for the sport as I kept playing. I didn't really stop, and then I started joining the national team, and that's when I really took pride in the sport and kept going.
JFK has been to the championship game for the last 3 seasons, and we're defending champs heading into 2019.
We have a good group of players, and I love playing aside them. We have teamwork on and off the field, and it's just a great bond between all of us.
The Islanders had an undefeated streak heading into their last regular season game, facing the Harvest Eagles. The Islanders would suffer their only loss of the regular season, 1-0 on a last-second goal.
I really feel like that loss against Harvest is a big factor of why we turned up in that game against FD. We really want the championship this year, and knowing that not being undefeated in the regular season and to like a last-second goal, we knew that it would take a fight to get the championship this year.
Noah scored 9 goals this season despite missing the first 4 games of the year. The Islanders advanced to the semifinals of this year's IIAG boys soccer season. JFK defeated FD 5-1, setting up a rematch with the Harvest Eagles for this year's championship title. The Islanders would fall short again, losing to the Eagles in the final game 1-0 on another late goal. Noah has been a member of Guam's national soccer team since the 7th grade. Mueller has represented Guam in Vietnam, China, Indonesia, and Saipan. He is currently a member of the U19 national team.
It's an honor to be a national player for Guam. Not a lot of people out there even get the opportunity to be a national player. So being able to play for my island, I feel that it's an honor just to play.
Noah has contributed some of his free time helping out with foster kids and United Airlines Guam Marathon. He says as a national player, giving back to the community is a big part of the national program, and also showing that he has a lot of pride in our island. That all comes with being a student athlete.
I feel that school comes first. After all, we are a student athlete, so grades mean everything. In our future, every college or anything out there, they always look at grades first. So our grades do matter the most when it comes to sports.
Whether on the soccer pitch giving his all to help his team win, or in the classroom keeping his head in the books and trying to earn a soccer scholarship, Noah Mueller is kicking his way into a bright future, and that's what makes him a Gatorade game changer.
Guam is truly a majestic place with its sheer natural beauty, wealth of beaches, and culturally rich landscape. Unfortunately, Guam has a real problem with unwanted invasive species. Help us in preventing their introduction and spread. The coconut rhinoceros beetle, the little fire ant, the African snail, Siam weed. These are just a few of the numerous invasives on Guam. Follow proper custom procedures when bringing plants and animals into Guam.
Help protect Guam. Tell your family and friends about invasive species.
To report invasive species, call 475-PEST.
The Hafa Pledge is definitely like an extension of the Hafa spirit, which is all about family, and it doesn't matter where you're from or who you are. I wear this uniform. I'm definitely proud of my job and what we do. I not only live it in the uniform, but outside of the uniform as well. It's definitely a way of life. I live the Hafa Pledge every day of my life.
And before we close out the news tonight, you know the deal. Our latest round of birthday shout-outs from the Cold Stone Creamery Birthday Club.
All right, my friends, the day after Christmas is awesome, and especially the people whose birthday it is today. So, happy birthday number 1 to Jordan Riley Santos. This comes with love from Auntie Joan, Uncle Glenn, and Gavin. Also, happy birthday number 12 to Rasan Rosario. Birthday bud, we love you, says your family and friends. And Tanya Cruz, we would like to wish Tanya a happy birthday, and this comes from her familia, which includes everybody on Guam, her family and friends throughout the world, and us here at KUAM and Cold Stone Creamery too. We hope all of you and everyone had a fantastic birthday.
Hey, remember, you can be a part of the Cold Stone Creamery Birthday Club by registering online at KUAM.com. But please make sure to include with your photo your name and birth date. And that's going to do it for us here on the KUAM News Desk. But stay tuned. The oh-so-handsome Jason Solis is next with Extra Head Jaws.
Closed captioning is brought to you by Green Energy Solutions, Inc. Visit GESIGuam.com or call 647-81